Hi Aries, this is Jody with Soul Purpose Tarot here in Carmel, Indiana. I am a Libra Sun, Capricorn Rising, Sagittarius Moon. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, what I normally do is I let flip, fly, or fall anywhere from 5 to 7 tarot cards. Take a look at that. See if we're looking at life, love, career, health. And then clarify with various oracle cards. So let me see what's going on with you guys that first half of May. Let's see. First card came up, the Lover's card. The Lover's card just came up in the Libra reading that I did. So, okay, so let's see what's going on. So, Three of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so moving on, you're moving into a relationship, it appears, because the Three of Wands, if it was in the upright, would be kind of like you're kind of stuck, about moving forwards, but you're unstuck in that case. And the Princess of Cups is about starting, I feel like that's starting to reveal some of your emotions. So maybe you are, I feel like you're in the beginning stages of coming into partnership, at very beginning stages, and maybe starting to reveal, maybe you've told somebody you love them, or maybe you've kind of hinted around to somebody that you love them. Maybe you're getting out of your comfort zone of keeping your heart locked on lockdown. I feel that's what I feel like. I feel like you've had your heart on lockdown, like nobody was getting in there. And the World card just came up. So it's like, this is moving you into a whole new phase, cycle, territory. Because if you've had, okay, this one, do you want this? The Six of Wands. Okay, so that would also be kind of like, I always look at that and it's like, whee, but it's in reverse. So it's kind of like, I feel like there is a lot of fear around this moving into partnership. It's kind of, it's like, I know this is what I have to do. I know this is who I want to be with, but I am scared shitless and I'm just going to have to do it, or I'm going to be stuck in perpetual lockdown for the rest of my life. Shit. A bunch of the same cards are coming out that came out in the Libra reading. So if you are an Aries and you are in a relationship with a Libra, you need to go watch the Libra reading. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so we've got the Lover's card. Trying to move forward, trying to get your heart from out of a lockdown and move yourself forward to your next phase in life. But it's like that the Fool card is in the reverse position. So it's kind of like, I'm going to take this slow and easy. I'm not jumping into that cold, ice cold swimming pool all in one fell swoop. I'm going to stick my toe in, and then I'm going to stick my foot in, and then I might go in down to my knee, and there ain't going to be no diving in for you, Aries. This is not going to be a quick process. This was, okay, so this was hard enough to get your heart out of lockdown. And you're no fool. You're like, I feel like I hear you going, I ain't no fool. I'm like, I may have let my heart out of lockdown, but I ain't jumping into this ice cold water without knowing what I'm getting into, is the feeling. So we're going to be taking things slow and easy. And this is all the movement you're getting from me for right now. It's like, I may have told you that I love you, and I may have told you a few things because I've let myself out of lockdown, but we ain't moving anything too fast. So don't even be thinking that we're running off to Vegas and getting married. Aye, aye, Captain. So let's talk about these emotions. Man, I'm like, and the feeling that I've got is it's like this, like, you are doing everything you can to stay in control like you have been in the past. And it's like, this was hard for you. This was a hard thing to tell somebody that you loved them and that you wanted to be with them. This was a very hard reveal for you. And it's like, and that's all I just, the feeling that I'm getting, and that's all you're going to get from me for now. So don't be getting excited. Don't be thinking that this is, I don't know, whatever. I thought something flipped over here. So just okay, I'm hearing hold your horses. Okay. So I feel like you are like stressed out of your doing that stressed you out of your mind, and thinking about your future stresses you out. So that's one of the reasons it's like you came out of lockdown, but you kind of went back into lockdown almost immediately. Because the empowered card in reverse came up. And if that was an upright, then letting your heart out of lockdown would have made you feel empowered. But it did not make you feel empowered, apparently. It stressed you out, freaked you out, and you're like, that's why you're like, you came out, you unlocked it, you said, here I am, and then you went right back into your shell. Okay. So let's not beat yourself up. There's no reason to beat yourself up about this. Sad. Okay, so why are you sad? You're sad. Okay, so it feels like you're sad. You're sad because you wanted to be braver. I feel like that's what I'm hearing. It's like, I wanted to be really, really brave about this, and I wanted to come out and go, ta-da! Here I am. Let's make this happen. But as soon as I did it, as soon as you did it, you freaked out and you went back into your shell, and that makes you sad because you were like, I wanted to be braver. That's what I keep hearing. I wanted to be braver. I just wanted to be braver. I'm just going to leave it at that, because that's the one thing that I keep hearing is I wanted to be braver, but I just couldn't do it. Comforted in the reverse position. You felt out of your comfort zone when when you brought your heart out of lockdown, you were out of your comfort zone. And that's one of the reasons you went back in your shell, is because you needed to go back where it was comfortable. Because you did not feel safe out in the open like that. So, all right. Well, you know what? That's okay. Baby steps. We'll just say baby steps. Resentful, indignant, offended, and bitter. I feel like the other person is the one that is you're okay. Well, no, that's you. Now I feel like you're resentful because the other person did not respond the way you wanted him to. You had expectations that didn't work out the way you thought they were going to. The loving card came up sideways. So do I want it up or down? I'm going to put it back in because I don't know which way it was supposed to go. So now the other person didn't respond the way you wanted to when you stepped out of this very vulnerable place that you stepped out of, and the other person did not respond the way you wanted them to, and now you're kind of like pissed at that person. It's kind of like, you have no idea how hard it was for me to do what I just did. And then it's like, I feel like the other person, I don't know, maybe started complaining it wasn't good enough, or they wanted more or something. And you're like, listen, this is all I can do. You need to be happy with that for right now. So, whatever the case is, it's, you know what? It's not all going to be like the movies, trapped. I feel like you just want to make sure you don't get yourself trapped. And maybe that's been a fear of yours in the past, is you just feeling trapped is a fear of yours, and you just want to make sure that you don't, that's one of the reasons. Okay, so that's what I'm hearing or feeling or whatever. It's like, that's one of the reasons that I am not jumping into this ice cold pool all at one time, is because I need to make sure I can get out of here if I need to, and not drowned. And so feeling trapped has been a big fear of yours. And that's why you can only like open up and go back in, and open up and go back in, and open up and go back in. It ain't going to be anything that's going to happen and then you're just going to be a changed person. This is going to be baby steps. So whoever is on the other end is either going to have to be really tolerant of that, or you guys are going to be fighting things out. Irritated. Okay, so now you're just irritated. Okay, so it feels like, well, I feel like I want to say I'm sorry that was such a disappointment for you. It was like you had high hopes and bigger expectations, and it's kind of like you came out and you went ta-da, and then you went back behind the curtain again, and there was a lot of letdown around all of that. You were kind of let down at yourself because you weren't braver. The other person was kind of let down because you came in and then you disappeared as fast as you came in. So there's a lot of feelings going around right now that you're all going to have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with. The other person's going to have to deal with. There's probably going to be some triggering going on. So let's see let me think. What question do I want to ask? I feel like I want to ask, what do you need to be prepared for? What will help you be prepared? Okay, so this is my blocks card, or emotions, or things that you need to be on the lookout. So these are things that you could be triggered by during this whole situation that is happening. And if you kind of know what to look out for ahead of time, it won't be quite as a surprise when things happen and the expectations that you had don't work out the way you thought. I don't want all of these because they just kind of flew all over the place. So let's think about this. What kind of feelings are going to come out that you need to be aware of that could trip you up? What could trip you up? And that if you're aware of, what will make things easier? Okay, so free will. All right, keep this in mind. How does this play into this? Free will. How could free will trip you up? Okay. All right. So I feel like, so what I'm feeling here is, this is a lesson. These are some lessons are coming up. Some stuff is coming up to be healed. If you look at that as a lesson to be healed and not get bent out of shape about it and just kind of, well, this has come up. Okay, so this is something to be healed. Look at it, figure it out, observe it, and try not to get bent out of shape. You're going to be better off. But you have free will. And you could get bent out of shape of it and not take the lesson that comes along with this. That's the feeling that I'm getting is you have the free will to not take what's happening as a lesson to learn. And you could just stay bent out of shape. The other person could stay bent out of shape, and y'all could like go your separate ways as soon as you came together. That is your free will. You have the free will to go, this is as much out of my comfort zone as I am getting, and I'm not getting out again anytime soon. That is your free will. You don't learn and grow when you do that. But again, that is your free will. You can do whatever you want. But if you're feeling trapped by something, then you need to figure out what it is that's making you feel trapped and work through that. So there's just a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I'm like a very strong feeling of a whole lot of stuff coming up that's triggering you throughout this whole process. So, disappointment on your end, disappointment on the other person's end. Some valuable lessons are being presented for both you and this other person to learn through. And a third party came in. How does a third party come in? Okay, so there's two things coming up on this. There's this feeling of, God, I should have just stayed with the other person. I never had this problem with the other person that you were with. Maybe you just came out of a relationship with somebody, or, maybe I don't know, whatever. Whoever this other person is, you didn't have these issues with this other person. There also was not a lot of soul growth there. That's one of the reasons you kind of outgrew that person, because you weren't growing as a person with that. Growing with that person. You weren't growing as a person with that other person. That's one of the reasons you moved out of that. But this is bringing you down into these feelings that you don't like to be in. And you're kind of like, God, I should have stayed with that other person. But the other thing that I'm getting with this is, be careful who you talk to about this situation, because I feel like if you talk to the wrong person, you're going to get some bad advice about what's going on here. And they could put some negative things in your head that's not going to help matters any. You kind of need to look at this and figure out why you are being triggered. And don't be going off to other people and going, oh my God, this person did this and this person did this. And, keep all those other people out of your relationship. So that feels like that third party thing is kind of a two-party thing. Regret is something that feels like that goes along with that trapped thing. It's like, you have a fear of feeling trapped, but you also have a fear of regret. And it's like this push-pull thing with you. It's like, if you stay trapped or where you're at, you're not going to grow, and you don't want to regret not getting out of your comfort zone. So there's just, again, there's just a whole lot of feelings coming up about this whole situation. It's like good, bad, excitement, dread, and your emotions are probably going to be all over the freaking place, and you just need to be prepared for that, because it's coming up. Trauma. I feel like I'm hearing this word trauma. There's some trauma that's coming up to be healed. Some trauma coming up to be healed. So it's gonna be pretty volatile. Could be. I mean, it's just not gonna be all peachy. I'm just gonna say that. What? Nope. Too many. Okay. What else? I don't want all of these. Do I want any more of these? No, I think I'm done with these. I want. Ugh. All right. Last words from the universe about this situation that you are getting ready to go into. Last words of advice for Aries about this situation you are either in right now or getting ready to walk into. Maybe. I want the top one. I don't know what it says, but it says you can't please everyone. Okay. When you're focused on living up to other people's standards, you aren't spending enough time raising your own. Some folks expect you to act a certain way and march to the beat of their boring drum. They find safety in sameness, but you have beautiful music inside you. Your flair is meant to be shared. Don't shrink and fit in or get approval. Instead, dump your need to please and just be your magnificent self. So to me, that is saying, if that other person had certain expectations and your show of love or however you went about that did not meet the expectations that they had in their head, that's not your fault. So don't beat yourself up if and have any, like, because there could be some self-worth stuff come up. I mean, it's kind of like, if there's someone that is never happy with anything, you could have, flown them to France and they could have still had issues with it because they wanted to go someplace else. So what I'm hearing or seeing with that is, do not take it personal. If you did your best, then that's all you can do. And if the other person wasn't happy with your best, that's their shit, not yours. So just keep that in mind. What else is going on here? What else is going on with this situation? These cards are hard to shuffle. What's this one say? Nourish. Yep, that tried to come out earlier. Nourish yourself. Have you been using food to numb rather than nourish? Be honest. If so, break that pattern today. Show your cells that you care by choosing healthy, wholesome foods made with love. Eat your veggies, make a green juice, and toast to your longevity. Cheers. I don't feel like that's just a food thing. That could be any kind of numbing, because emotions tend to bring out things that don't feel good. So that's when a lot of people try to numb those emotions down. So I guess that's just kind of the universe saying, be careful about numbing these emotions that are coming up. They're coming up for a reason. They're coming up to be healed. Take a look at them. Heal them. Don't just push them back down to the bottom, because they're going to keep coming out. That's the point. Is you can numb things and numb things and numb things, but in 10 years, they're still going to be popping up if you don't deal with it. So I feel like that's what they're saying, is just don't be numbing these emotions that are going to crop up during this time. Believe there's magic all around you. Open up to the wonders of the universe. Notice the connections and synchronicities. Follow your feelings and believe with all your heart. We occasionally manifest our dreams when our feelings are in alignment with our plans. From that sacred union, the right ideas take shape. The best relationships blossom, and the stuff that's meant to be easily falls into place. Everything is possible. So that is, again, kind of talking about this sacred union that's coming in. So if you're having some emotions, that means you're out of alignment. If you're having emotions that you don't know what they're about, that means you're out of alignment. So this is coming into, you're going to be tested. That's all I'm going to say. There's going to be some testing coming in around this whole relationship, and you're going to be all up in your feels. So just be aware, and just be aware. I guess that's all I can say, is be aware. I will see you guys middle of May. We'll see how things are going with this new relationship, and see if things have kind of calmed down, and if anybody got their feelings hurt, or everybody's back on the same path, or what. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.